Are you Matthew Aldridge?
I'm the attorney of fact for Matthew Aldridge.
You were what?
The attorney of fact.
Attorney what?
Of fact.
Attorney of fact. And what does that mean?
You know, his authorization to do legal representation.
Are you a licensed attorney?
No, I'm simply an attorney of fact.
Okay. And does that mean you have a power of attorney? What is your name? What is your name?
All right, everyone. Today's court hearing is really crazy. There's a guy called Matthew Aldridge, or at least that's what the papers say. But the man talking at the podium won't say his name. He's calling himself the attorney of fact, which isn't even a real legal title. These sovereign citizen people always try to say the court has no power over them. But here's the truth. Courts have control over anyone in their area. The judge doesn't believe him at all and shuts him down in a big way. At the end, the judge totally outsmarts this guy. Let's jump right into it.
My name?
Yes, sir.
I don't have.
You don't have a name? Pardon?
I'm the attorney of fact for the respondent in the area.
Well, let me explain to you. Only an attorney at law can stand in court and represent a criminal defendant. And to do so otherwise violates the criminal law statutes of the state of Tennessee and could land someone who attempts to represent themselves as an attorney at law in serious trouble. I understand what you're saying. I understand you're saying an attorney in fact. And what I want you to understand is that if you have a power of attorney, then you need to demonstrate that power of attorney. Do you have a legal document called a power of attorney?
No, I do not at this time.
Okay. Then you don't have any authority to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge in this court. You have no legal authority, nor do you have any authority through a legal document to represent or to act on behalf of Matthew Aldridge.
Why don't the court just let me file this document?
Show it to the bailiff and he'll show it to me.
Have a copy of it.
Oh, apparently there's a copy here.
Yeah.
So this guy is saying he's an attorney of fact, and to prove it, he just gave the judge a paper. You didn't see it because it was kind of slow, but the paper quoted a made-up law that he says lets him represent Matthew Aldridge. Real lawyers have to be licensed by the state and follow real legal rules. This guy's paper is just some DIY, legal fantasy. These sovereign citizen people like to argue about jurisdiction, acting like they're above the law. But spoiler, that doesn't work. Courts follow real established laws, not made-up ones. The judge wasn't interested in his nonsense at all. Is this sovereign citizen stuff getting more popular? Or am I just unlucky to keep seeing these strange cases? Let me know in the comments.
All right. Well, I find that Matthew Neal Aldridge has failed to appear personally in this court for the plea day on his case, which is set for trial tomorrow. And as a result, you have no standing, sir, under what I know what you're trying to do is to try to use the sovereign citizen approach to this situation. And I'm simply telling you that you do not have the right to represent Matthew Neal Aldridge. If you are, in fact, Matthew Neal Aldridge, then you need to say so and stop this nonsense, because what you're attempting to do has no legal effect. You cannot challenge the criminal law or the jurisdiction of this court by simply filing some legal mumbo jumbo having to do with civil litigation. That has civil litigation in it. It is not a criminal case that you have cited. So it has no effect on this court regarding the criminal statutes of this court. This court is empowered under the Constitution of the United States of America and the Constitution of the state of Tennessee, and by the duly elected citizens of Cheatham County to empower and enforce the laws of the state of Tennessee. And that is what I'm going to do regarding Matthew Lynn Aldridge. Mr. Aldridge is set for today to appear in court personally on what we call our last plea day before his trial date tomorrow.
Is that an article 3 trial?
To what?
Will that be an article 3 trial? A trial by jury with jury?
It would be a trial by jury. Certainly it would be. but I don't know who you are. And I don't think you have any authority if you are not Matthew Lynn Aldridge to appear before this court. And you're wasting valuable time that all of these other citizens who are here today. So when I'm talking, you stop talking. No, you will when I'm finished talking. You are wasting the court's time by doing this, and I'm just simply instructing you that if you are in fact Matthew Lynn Aldridge, then this is your last day to settle your case. The trial date is set for tomorrow, and unfortunately it will not go forward because of the fact that I have a conflict and I have to be in Stewart County on a civil matter. So we're going to assign a new trial date for Matthew Lynn Aldridge. All right. To Matthew Aldridge and the individual standing before me whose name must not be uttered.
This judge is handling this crazy guy like a total pro. He stays calm but shuts him down every time. The guy barely got to say his attorney of fact stuff before the judge tore it apart. It seems like the judge either took this personally or just sees this kind of thing a lot. When the guy started quoting his made-up laws, the judge really went after him. I thought it was funny when the judge said the guy couldn't even say his own name. Usually judges don't show much feeling, so that was kind of funny. From the start, it was clear the judge wasn't going to waste time on this nonsense. In the end, this just shows how silly and pointless these stunts really are.
Then we will set a July 15th trial date for Mr. Aldridge. Whatever this document is that you have filed is in fact invalid because it does not cite any valid criminal statute, and therefore I'm denying whatever that might be in the way of a motion. The trial date will be July 15th. The last day for Mr. Aldridge to enter a plea or go to trial will be July the 8th. July the 8th. Now, we're going to give you a card. If you are, in fact, Matthew Aldridge and you're just playing games with the court regarding this nonsense that you filed, then you may get this card and you may go on about your business. If you are not Matthew Aldridge, then I would suggest to you, you relay to Mr. Aldridge that he must appear on July the 8th, or a bond revocation will take place, and his case will be will take place with him in jail, incarcerated on the 15th. That's the judgment of the court. You need to take your piece of paper and go on about your business.
Sovereign. Citizens are really something else. These people think they can ignore the law by saying they don't accept the government's power. They talk about things like common law or the UCC, Uniform Commercial Code, but they don't understand how these laws really work. Just so you know, courts follow federal, state, and local laws that have been around for a long time and are backed by the Constitution. There's no loophole where you can just say the rules don't apply to you. These people waste a lot of court time with weird arguments that don't work, and usually they just end up with a criminal record. The reason their defense fails is because of something called jurisdiction. Courts have power over anyone in their area, no matter what legal nonsense they say. Judges have heard all of it before and don't take it seriously. If someone tries to avoid taxes or get out of a ticket using these tricks, it won't work. They might even get bigger penalties for wasting the court's time. I don't get why. They keep trying. Maybe they think they're beating the system or just rebelling. Either way, it's really silly and they just make fools of themselves. All right, that's it for today's breakdown. If you liked it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Tell me what you think about sovereign citizens in the comments. Thanks for watching and take care.